Hello everyone, good morning. How are you doing today? Thank you for joining me in the next episode of my English classes. To my subscribers, I would like to say a big thank you, massive thank you for subscribing to my channel, for leaving nice words of encouragement, alright, for giving me words of wisdom to, to keep pushing. Okay, I appreciate those words, alright. Today we're going to be talking about abolishing commonly used adjective. We have done some of these words in our previous class, and we're going to be doing some more of these words, right? So I hope you enjoy this class. Please stay tuned and watch, alright? So our first word is bad. The first word that we're going to be dealing with today is the word bad. So, what other ways can we use the word bad? What other words can we use instead of bad? We could use atrocious, crummy, bummer, bad news. That child is bad news. That man, he constantly beat his wife. He's bad news, alright? So atrocious, crummy, bummer, bad news. I'm in a very crummy situation. I'm in a very bad situation, alright? So good is a next word that we use often. Good child, good man, good woman, good job, good. Alright? So here are some other words that we can use instead of using the word good. There's something flying up on me here. Instead of using the word good, we could use acceptable. Acceptable. Exceptional. Superb, marvelous, favorable. I love that word, favorable. When you're favorable, that's very good. Alright? And next word that we use pretty often is sad. The word sad, S-A-D, sad. Alright? I'm having a sad day. I'm in a very sad situation. This just makes me feel real sad. Seeing the children cry, that just makes me very sad. But instead of using the word sad, we could use the word doleful, downcast, despondent, melancholy. Yes, melancholy, under the weather, sorrowful. So under the weather can also be used as a idiom. Okay? Under the weather can also be used as a idiom. So when you're under the weather, you're not feeling your normal self. You might have a sneeze, a cold, you're just not feeling upbeat, alright? So you say you're under the weather. What is that? And sorrowful. Sorrowful is more like when someone dies, alright? Or you lose your job. You put in a very sorrowful state, or your house catch a fire, right? That is, or you lost a child in a car accident, or your child have a broken foot or something, or a broken hand. That put you in a very sorrowful state of mind. So sorrowful. So instead of saying sad, you say they're sorrowful. And melancholy is also another word for sad. It's another word for sad. Alright? So look at these three words that we use every day, and these list of words which you can use instead of using these three words. Alright? and especially if you're writing. If you're a writer and you're writing, you don't have to be a writer per se, but if you're writing or you're doing an exam that consists of writing a story or an essay, here are some words that you can, put instead of using these commonly used adjectives. Alright, here I have written 3 sentences, and I've pulled from these 3 sentences words that we could put in instead of using the words bad, good, and sad. The boys' behavior are atrocious. They threw stones, breaking the principal's car window. The boys' behavior are atrocious, which we said would be bad. Alright? The boys' behavior are atrocious. They threw stones, breaking the principal's car window. Alright? So these are what? Bad boys. Alright? They are bad news. They are bad news to their school community. Alright? Number 2. All the girls receive acceptable grades in their subject of science. All the girls receive acceptable grade in the subject of science. So acceptable is the next word that you could use for good. So they receive good grades. Alright? And next word you could use instead of acceptable, you could say they have received exceptionally good grades or exceptional grades. Alright, or you could say superb. Why I say superb? Superb. That's the next. They received superb grades, or their grades were superb. Alright. Marvelous. You wouldn't say they received marvelous grades, but you could say you look marvelous, or that dress looks marvelous on you, or you look marvelous in your suit and tie, right? You say the person looks marvelous. Alright? Favorable is the next word you could use instead of acceptable. Their grades were favorable. Alright? They received favorable grades in their English class or their maths class, or in this case their science class. Alright? Or their science subject. So they had favorable grades. So their grades were pretty good. Alright? Number 3. I visited the nursing home of my father's, and all the residents there had a doleful look on their faces. Probably let me go this side. I visited the nursing home of my father's, and all the residents there had a doleful look on their faces. They had a doleful look on their faces, meaning they had a very sad look on their faces. Alright? Their faces were what? Downcast. They seemed to be under the weather. Not necessarily sorrowful, but they feel what? Despondent. They weren't feeling upbeat. They weren't looking happy. They weren't looking delighted or delightful. Alright? So they all had a doleful look. They had a sad look or a doleful look on their faces. And that could contribute to them being in a confined space or institution. So in an institution, what happens? You're not able to go out as you like, or go and see your friends as you like. Everything is what? Structured. You can people can visit you at a certain time. You cannot cook as you like. You have to eat their food. You have to go to bed at their time, right? So that is how institutions are run. Alright, there are specific times for specific things or specific occasions. Alright, so you couldn't just jump in your kitchen and go and cook. No, you cannot do that. You have to eat what they give you to eat. You can request something special to eat or that you like, and you might get it as well as might not. But that is, you cannot just do as you like when you're in an institution as when you're in your home, or like when you're in your home. So that can cause that person to be sad, alright, or to be doleful. What else could make them a person be doleful in a situation like that? Their friends, they're not around their families, especially if it is a close-knit family. Alright, you know, everybody might have their own jobs and busy, so they are missing that part of their life, so that can make them into a doleful disposition, a sad disposition. Alright, so look at these 3 sentences. See how I pull from these 3 sentences, to pull from these words to create these 3 sentences, and you can do the same. Alright, so tell me if you would like to do these sentences, or share with me if you have, how you like these words, and if you are able to put them in these sentences. Just write a note down the bottom, just like how you give me words of encouragement. Just tell me if you have used these words to create sentences and how you think they turn out for you. Alright, so this is it for this class. Thanks you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I hope you have enjoyed this class, and I'm looking forward to see you in my next class. Alright, so until then, bye.